In the world's largest refugee camp in Bangladesh, life for women and children is particularly difficult. This woman fled from Myanmar with her 3 children and husband after their village was burnt down 2 years ago.
My husband left me and my children after we came here, and it was difficult for me to make ends meet. I didn't have any other option.
Any other option, that is, than to work as a prostitute. Now, when she gets the call, she travels to the neighboring towns outside of the refugee camps.
There's no other job I can do. I can't do anything else. If I remarry, my new husband would take care of me, but not my children.
It's impossible to say how many Rohingya refugees end up in the sex trade here. Many are as young as 14. According to a local NGO, thousands of women are trafficked across Bangladesh and even abroad, lured by false promises of jobs and marriage. We wanted to gauge how widespread the problem really is. In the tourist town of Cox's Bazar, roughly 40 kilometers from the camps, we got in touch with a pimp who boasted to have several Rohingya women on call.
Hello?
I'll show you some girls, and if you like them, you can take them. If not, you can leave.
Okay, see you in an hour.
A bit later, our reporter meets the man at a pre-arranged point and gets into an auto rickshaw with him. While we follow behind, our reporter is secretly filming the entire encounter. First stop is a hotel which serves as a brothel. To begin with, the manager seems suspicious and denies having any prostitutes. Then he shows us pictures of a few women on his phone. None of them seem to be Rohingya. Around 10 p.m, the pimp sends a Rohingya woman to our hotel. She's too scared to talk to us when we reveal we're journalists because she's worried the hotel might tell the pimps. But she confirms she is a 23-year-old Rohingya refugee. She says she is a victim of her circumstances. Back at the camp, the sex worker we met earlier tells us the Rohingya are not allowed to work. And there have been several police raids on hotels doubling as brothels. She herself was recently released from jail.
If I can't find any other way to make money, I'll have to go back to this work. If I do, I might get arrested again.
But she's likely to take that risk again, because for now, she doesn't have a choice. And faced with such a bleak future, Rohingya women remain easy prey for the pimps and traffickers.
And we are joined now by DW's Arafatul Islam. He's one of the reporters that you saw there in that piece, and he also happens to be from Bangladesh. And, you know, we saw in that report one of the Rohingya women essentially saying she has no other choice. She has to make money. How desperate is the situation there?
The situation is quite desperate there because, you know, most of the refugees who came from Myanmar in 2017 are women and children. So they are big in number and they want to get involved with job opportunities or ways to earn something so that they can meet or they can make ends meet. But there is not much opportunity for them apart from providing relief by NGOs and international aid agencies.
Surely the Bangladeshi authorities are aware of this situation. What was your experience in interacting with them? How are they dealing with it?
I was there 2 years ago, and that time I saw that there is a welcoming attitude towards Rohingyas in Bangladesh. But what happened last time when I was there with 2 of my colleagues, I saw that there is a repatriation attempt going on, and it totally failed. And then the foreign minister responded very angrily saying that we have to reduce their benefits or things they're getting there. So we have to make something so that they agree to return at some point. So now the situation is more like Bangladesh government wants to get rid of them. They don't want to provide any kind of support to Rohingyas because the government doesn't recognize Rohingyas as refugees. And when they don't recognized as refugees, they don't get any benefits that refugees should get according to international law.
So there are no other alternatives for these women?
They don't have, because there is no other employment opportunities or anything. I mean, personally, I think there should have some kind of opportunities where girls can work, women can work and earn something out of it, because they have time, they are kind of living in an overcrowded camp, but not many opportunities to spend time, not many opportunities to earn something to work. So there should be some opportunities by the government of Bangladesh, especially for women in the Rohingya camps.
And I imagine that many of these, people, these Rohingyas, they don't want to go back to Myanmar, especially given how they were forced out of the country.
Yeah, well, we talked to many of the refugees and we asked this specific question whether they want to return or not. What we found that they want to return, and that's why they are staying near the border area. But they have some specific demands. They want Myanmar government to recognize them as Rohingya, to provide them citizenship of Myanmar. Also, they want safety and security in Rakhine region. So if these are provided, these are ensured, then they are willingly interested in returning to Myanmar, the country they think they belong to.
DW's Arafatul Islam, thank you so much for your reporting.